Okay, so now we are going to do question 2 for the 2023 FRQ set 2. All right, so here what we're doing is keep dry produces and sells rain jackets in a perfectly competitive product market at a price of $5 per jacket and hires all workers it needs in a perfectly competitive labor market at the wage rate of $15. Labor is the only variable input, and the firm's production schedule is provided in the table. So what I like to do is I like to write out what they gave me. Perfectly competitive product market. That means price equals MR, which is also MC. They then told me my price is $5. They hire all workers in a competitive labor market. Remember, anytime you're in a perfectly competitive labor market, your MFC is equal to your wage, and they have a wage rate of $15. Labor is the only variable input, and the production schedule is below. So we have the quantity of the output. Question A. Calculate the marginal revenue product of the second worker. Well, marginal revenue product, that formula is marginal revenue times the marginal product. Now, what's your marginal revenue? Price equals MR because it's perfect competition. So your marginal revenue is equal to 5 because that's what your price is equal to. Now your marginal product. Do you know your marginal product? No. But you do have your product, so now you need to find the marginal product. So that would be 0, 9, 11, 7, 5, 2, 1. All I'm doing is I'm finding the change with each one. I go from 0 to 9, so that's a change of 9. I go from 9 to 20, so I increased by 11. Okay. Now, the marginal revenue product. Let's find that. All that is the marginal revenue times the marginal product. So 0 times 5 is 0. 9 times 5. I'm doing the marginal revenue times the marginal product. So 9 times 5, which is 45. 5 times 11, 55. 5 times 7, 35. 5 times 5, 25. 5 times 2 is 10. And 5 times 1 is 5. So what is the marginal revenue product of the second worker? Well, that would be the second worker, and his marginal revenue product is 55. So for the answer for A, what you would do is you would say marginal revenue product is equal to the marginal revenue times the marginal product, and that is equal to 5 times 11, which is equal to 55. Okay, that's all you have to put for A. Part B. Diminishing marginal returns begins with the hiring of which worker. So remember, diminishing marginal returns happens whenever the marginal product starts to decrease. All right, so we go from 0 to 9, so marginal product is going up. Then we go 9 to 11, marginal product is still going up. Then we go from 11 to 7. Uh-oh, marginal product went down. We went from 11 to 7. So the marginal product starts to decrease. And when did the marginal product start to decrease? It started when we hired the third worker. So for part B, diminishing marginal returns happens when the third worker is hired. Part C. Determine the profit maximizing number of workers they should hire. Remember, profit max for hiring labor is wherever the MRP is greater than or equal to the marginal factor cost. And remember, your MFC is the same as your wage, and your wage is 15. So we are trying to look at where your marginal revenue is greater than or equal to 15. So do you hire the first worker? Yes, because your MRP is 45, and that's greater than 15. So yes, you hire them. You hire the second worker, you hire the third worker, and you hire the fourth worker because your marginal revenue product is 25, which is greater than the MFC. But do you hire the fifth worker? No. You don't hire the fifth worker because your marginal factor cost is less than your marginal revenue product. So when they say determine the number of workers you hire using marginal analysis, this is what you're going to say. You're going to say the firm, the profit maximizing number of workers is 4 because the MRP, which is 25 right here, 25 for the fourth worker, is greater than the MFC, which is 15, and not the fifth worker because the MRP, which is 10, is less than the MFC, which is 15. Okay, so you don't hire whenever your marginal cost is less than, or when your marginal cost is more than your marginal revenue. You don't hire them. So that's per part C. Part D, assuming that total fixed costs are $40, calculate the economic profit when hiring the profit maximizing number of workers. So right off the bat, they gave you the total fixed cost, which is 40. And to find profit, you're going to need total revenue minus your total cost. So what's your total revenue? Well, your total revenue is price times quantity. And what's your price? Well, your price is 5. And you're hiring how many workers? You hire 4. So therefore, what is your output? Your output is going to be 32. So you'll be 5 times 32. So that would be equal to 90. Oh, that's not 90. Sorry. Let me get my calculator. 32 times 5 is 160. And then, what about your total cost? Well, remember, your total cost is your total fixed cost plus your total variable cost. And as you know, your total fixed cost is 40. But what's your total variable cost? Well, the only variable input you have is labor. So how many labor do you hire? You're hiring 4 labor, and how much do you pay them? You pay them the wage. So that would be 4 labor times $15. So that would be a total cost of 40 plus 60. So that would be 100. So your total cost is 100 and your total revenue is 160. So therefore your profit would be 160 minus 100. All we're doing is price times quantity. Price is 5. Quantity is 32 because you're hiring 4 workers. And total cost is going to be fixed cost, which is 40, plus the variable cost, which is 4 workers, and you pay them the wage. So 4 times 15. If you add that together, that's going to be 100. Okay? Now, your profit would be equal to $60. Right? So for the work, for the answer on that one, for part D, you would say that total revenue equals 5 times 32, which is 160. Total cost equals 40 plus 4 times 15, which is 100. So profit is equal to 160 minus 100, which is equal to 60. Okay. For part E, suppose keep dry's fixed cost increases to 80. Will the profit maximizing number of workers hired in the short run increase, decrease, or stay the same? Explain. So when we change the fixed cost, does this change the marginal cost? No. Anytime you change the fixed cost, this does not change the marginal cost. If this does not change the marginal cost. Does this change the profit maximizing? No. Okay, so the profit maximizing number of workers will stay the same. So profit max number of workers remains the same because fixed cost does not change marginal factor cost or marginal revenue product. Okay. All right, so that is all for question 2. I will be continuing on to question 3 in the next video. Okay, if you have any questions, please leave me a comment down below. I'll be happy to help you out. So I'll see you there. Bye.